By the end of this video, you're going to know the exact moment that installed the money blocks you have today. You're also going to be rewired at the deepest level. Why should you listen to me? Why should you believe what I've just said? Well, I've done hundreds of hypnosis sessions with clients to remove blocks exactly like this. And the ones that get the result aren't the ones that just listen to a track, they're the ones that figure out and become consciously aware of the exact moment that shaped them. Because until you know that exact moment, you actually can't rewire what was wired into you. Make sense? In this video, the first part is going to be us creating conscious awareness. You're going to create conscious awareness around where the resistance is today, where it started, so that you can, by the end of this video, rewire that. Because the second part is going to be a hypnosis session. That hypnosis session is genuinely going to rewire you at the deepest level, but first we do the conscious work. First, this awareness is required for you to go into the session, to have reference points, to actually rewire yourself. Because this video is a video. It's not a one-to-one session with a client. It's not something where I'm standing in front of you, I can watch your physiology, I can test in live person, right? I can't do that. So there's required work for you to do. Okay, when I'm doing this with a group of people, okay, like I did in Spain, in Marbella, with a group of entrepreneurs, or I'm doing it on a video like this, you need to do the conscious work. If you don't do the conscious work, it won't work. Okay, but if you're someone that's gonna sit with a pen and paper and do this, I can almost guarantee, nothing in life's 100%, that you're going to rewire yourself at the deepest level. So get a pen and paper for the first part, and make sure for the second part, you're not driving a car, you're not operating any machinery. You can have headphones ideally, be in ideally a dark room, comfortable room, no distractions, headphones on, eye mask, etc. That would be ideal for you to get the most out of this video. So let's get started. I want to get you consciously on board with exactly what money is. Okay, and I might just be reinforcing something you already know, but life is a game of awareness, and you actually can't have enough awareness in life. So we're going to start off by reinforcing some conscious perspectives around what money actually is. Okay, what we're taught a lot of the time, unless you've grew up in a billionaire's household, and it's very likely you're not watching this video if that's the case, but what we're taught a lot in life is money is valuable, money is really important. Money needs to be saved and not spent, okay? Ultimately, I want to give you this very easy and simple perspective around what money is. Money is energy, okay? And it's energy that flows towards value. So the more value you provide in the world, the more you serve. If you're selling if you've got a service, if you're selling a product, if you're solving problems, whatever it is, money will flow towards you, because money is energy that simply flows towards value. Money is a tool for value exchange. It is essentially, another way to look at it, is it's just numbers on a screen. It's just paper that's printed out of a machine. There's not enough physical cash in alignment with how much money there is in the world, because the elites, the government, whoever you want to point at, they just print this stuff out of thin air. So if we catch ourselves thinking that money is really valuable, money is really important, placing too much importance on it, we're forgetting this. We're forgetting the simple fact that money is just energy that flows towards value, and ultimately you can think of it also as it's not even real. Okay, it's just printed out of thin air. But we're taught the opposite of this. But it's important that you consciously align yourself with these perspectives before removing any kind of subconscious blocks or rewire your nervous system, which you will do at the end of the video. So imagine this. You've been taught your whole life that money is super important. Well, then what do? Imagine this is a pedestal, really, really well drawn pedestal, and that is a pound sign. Well, you pedestalize money, okay? And when you pedestalize money, that means that what? Money is above you. Money is this thing that has great importance that's hard to reach. That's what you do. You put money out of reach when you position money as a pedestal. Okay, but ultimately I want you to think about this. Money is attracted, okay, and flows to value, like I've said. Well, imagine, instead of pedestalizing it like this, you start to align yourself with money. Well, what does that actually mean? Because alignment, all these words are quite lofty words. Well, if money is in alignment with you, and you're in alignment with money, well, what does money flow towards? Money flows towards value. So you need to become someone of value, or at least provide value to the world. You then need to consider being someone of value. And if you're not being someone of value, you're never going to make money. If you're not serving the world, solving problems, it's never going to happen. You're not going to make a lot of money. Okay, the people in the world that solve the biggest problems make the most money. Think about Apple. Apple, I mean, how much is Apple even worth? Trillions? And think about what they done. Think about what Steve Jobs done. Solved one of the biggest problems, and every single person in the world, okay, knows who Apple is because they brought something to the world that solved a huge fucking problem. They gave a lot of value to the world. So if you're in a position where you want to attract money, being someone of value is how you do it. Simply, that's how it works. Okay, you're not in a position right now, even if you've grown up from a place of not having money, you're not out of reach and you can't be a millionaire. That is an illusion. That is likely a belief that you've completely adopted from your family. Money doesn't grow on trees. People like us don't become millionaires. Trust me, I've had it myself. But these are things that we need to understand consciously before we go into the subconscious work. That ultimately, all money is numbers on a screen. If you want to use the term that I used at the start, money is energy and it flows towards value. So now that we've consciously agreed that money isn't super important, super valuable, and ultimately is just a tool for value exchange, let's move through this. Okay, I want to give you a bit of awareness around exactly what happens and how these money blocks are first installed. Then we're going to think about the awareness that gives you an understanding of how it's shown up today. We're going to trace it back to a memory, and then you're going to be in a position to do the hypnosis session. Okay, I'm keeping this very simple for you guys. I don't want to come across as someone that's trying to be smart here. I want to, right now, with this new wave of YouTube content, give you guys as much value as possible. Actually help you rewire yourself. Okay, this is not from a place of trying to look smart. So if it seems very simple, it's because I'm making it sound simple for you guys to really grasp and understand. So let's just think, between the ages of 0 and 8, and it could be up to 18, but we're just using this as an example. Between the ages of 0 and 8, you likely had an experience. Okay, that experience had a negative emotion tied to it. Okay, this negative emotion created what we call a subconscious association. And this subconscious association, imagine that negative emotion was stress, and you either, with the experience, you either observed someone in your family, like your mum or dad, stressed out, or you experienced it yourself not having a lot of money. Again, up to 18, you're likely not going to experience having no money when you're 0 to 8, but we're just giving you context here. You're either going to observe or experience directly stress tied to money. This is the negative emotion that we're using here. And again, if we want to be more specific, we could just say anxiety, because a lot of people have anxiety when it comes to money. Well, this subconscious association is money is tied to anxiety. Okay, and in that moment, this subconscious association is stored in your subconscious mind. And this will happen unconsciously, you will not be aware of this. So moving forward, this association, money equals anxiety, will then trigger a response, okay? And this response will show up today as resistance. Ultimately, when you have this negative experience, this negative emotion forms a subconscious association and it's stored in your nervous system. And this negative emotion being stored in your nervous system means that anytime moving forward, you have an experience that is in any way tied to the same event, okay, as you had as a child, you're going to have that negative response. You're going to have that negative feeling that shows up. And it will not be rational, it will be irrational. And I want this to be clear before we go into where it's shown up for you today. Because if you're not aware of this being the process that actually happens, it's not really going to make sense to you, right? So just to break this down even clearer, you in life either observe stress around money, anxiety around money, anger around money, whatever it is for you, and in that moment you have this feeling. It could be tightness in your chest, it could be a feeling in your stomach, okay? And in that moment, what happens is you store the negative emotion in your nervous system. That experience is solidified inside of you. Then imagine the experience, which you're going to understand. The experience as a child is scarcity of money. Money going down isn't safe. A lack of makes you feel that feeling because you observed it or you experienced it yourself. Well, what happens today? Today, if money goes down in the business, you'll get that same feeling. You'll get that same anxiety. You're going to get that same resistance that shows up. And it's not random. Because remember, when you're 0, you don't have any associations with money. You don't know what money is, you don't have any care in the world about it, but at some point you experience something that teaches you this is what this means. And then you unconsciously decide that means this. Very, very simple, but this is what happens. So in that moment, what happens? Okay, ultimately you store this in your nervous system and your subconscious mind. You create this association with money, and you create a protective part of you that wants to avoid that, okay? Your subconscious mind is irrational. It does not think logically, okay? It's irrational, and its only job is to keep you safe, keep you alive. So what happens as we go through life, when you had that negative experience, you will then do what I call, or what you call, compartmentalize, okay? You will compartmentalize, so you'll create a part of you, and this is important for the hypnosis at the end of this, to keep you safe. And this part of you is designed to keep you safe and will show up anytime the same thing or something similar to what happened happens in your life. So as I said, if there was scarcity around money, if there was fear around money, you're watching your parents have no money or you yourself didn't have it, and then the business goes down, you're going to feel that same anxiety, you're going to feel that same resistance, but that's the part of you that was designed to keep you safe. Okay, it's really important to understand that this part of you has a positive intention. What we experience this as is resistance. So we look at this part of us as bad. We think, oh, that is just so annoying. Why do I keep getting stressed out? This part of me is holding me back. That's not how you actually remove this. This is not going to benefit you when it comes to doing a hypnosis at the end of this video. We need to see this as having a positive intention. When we see this having as a positive intention, we understand that it's just there to keep us safe. Then what we're going to do is we're going to stop fighting with that part of us. We're going to finally see it as a part of us that actually is there to benefit us. Okay, although today it doesn't seem like that. So it's very important for you to consciously know this. That as we go through life, in that moment when you create that subconscious association, there's a part of you that's formed. And that part of you is formed to show up and protect you anytime something similar shows up in your future. So let's think about you today. Let's think about how this shows up for you. We want to firstly think about, in the present moment, today, how this shows up. Okay, so what is your trigger? Think about your trigger first. Okay, when do you feel the negativity? Okay, is it when you look at your bank balance? Is it when the revenue drops? Is it when you, again, don't make enough? Well, that's revenue drops, isn't it? But I want you to think, when is this? When is this and when does it show up? Okay, is it when you check your bank balance, you get this feeling in your body? Okay, is it when the business isn't making as much? Is it when you need to, here's another one, is it when you need to spend a lot? Okay, is it when you need to spend a lot? Think about the trigger, and I want you to think about, the more specific you can get, the exact moment that it shows up. Okay, so is it you go to check your bank balance and then boom, you have this resistance that shows up, you don't feel good? Is it when it comes up as an opportunity to make a big investment and you're looking at the investment and then you have this feeling? When is the exact moment? You can pause the video, but I want this to be clear inside your mind. The exact moment that you have that resistance that shows up. Okay, now we want to think about what's called, to give you the term of it, it's called the somatic signature. Okay, and this is essentially just where it shows up in your body. It's going to be very important for the hypnosis, right? So where in your body does it show up? And for a lot of people, and don't just let me tell you this is it, but just really think, it could be in their chest, it could be in their stomach. I've had clients have it in their throat. Okay, but chest, stomach, where is it in your body? Where do you have the resistance? Again, personally for me, I used to have anxiety in my stomach. I used to have this anxiety in my stomach that my stomach would dip if I didn't make as much money, or if I seen that I had less in my bank than was ideal. Okay, but this is again based on the experiences that I had. So where in your body, and I want you to also think, what kind of feeling is it? So you have the location, but is it like a heaviness in your chest? A lot of clients have heaviness in their chest. Okay, is it a sinking feeling, like a kind of gut punch sinking feeling in your stomach? What is the feeling? Where do you feel it? And what triggers it exactly today? This is what you need to know. It's really important you know this. It really, really is. This is the difference between this actually working for you and not. So if we can understand today, what is this feeling? Where does it live in our body? When exactly does it show up, okay? Super, super important. So just pause the video. I'm going to wipe off the whiteboard, but just pause the video and get this noted down. You need to do this conscious work. I think I've repeated that about 5 times, but I want this to be clear. You need to do this conscious work for this actually to work at the end of the video. Now you're aware of where the resistance is showing up today. Exactly when, exactly what, where in your body. The next part is us asking questions to understand the earliest memory that you have of this, okay? So this is what we want to do. Is I want you to think about it. When is the earliest memory, okay, where you felt this? And it's the same feeling. Okay, so just look for the same feeling. So the same feeling, and that will be the same sinking in your chest, or sinking in your stomach, heaviness in your chest. Look for the same exact feeling. Look for the same feeling, think about exactly when this was, and just go back to the earliest memory that you have of this. And it's going to be, again, tied to money. So think, when was the earliest memory that I have of money that was tied to this? Because it's very important that you understand this part, because this is the part that you're going to rewire. In this moment, this is when you were shaped. This was the moment where you learned that money wasn't safe. This was the moment where you tied anxiety to money. This is a moment where that part of you was formed to never let you do that thing again. And this is what people experience, okay? They are going to take action that's going to move them forward in the business. They're going to make a big investment. Every single time they check the bank balance, it makes them feel negative and gives them that same feeling. But this is what you're going to remove today. You're going to remove this feeling and this sensation because you're, right now, bringing to the conscious awareness the exact memory that you have. So ask yourself that question, pause this video if you need to, and bring this to your conscious awareness. Again, think about it. What was happening? Can you remember? Was it seeing your mum upset? For me, a lot, like the memory that I had was one of the earliest was seeing my mum stressed about money. So what was it? Okay. Where exactly did you feel it? And when was it? Okay. So when exactly was it? What happened in that memory? And where did you feel it? Very important to become aware of this. Do this conscious work. What to do is completely position yourself in a place where you have this written down. And just to run back through, you're going to know where it's showing up today, the exact trigger, the exact moment where that feeling hits, where you feel it in your body, and what exactly that feeling is. You're then going to know, if you're looking at your notes, you're going to know the earliest memory you had this same feeling around money. Because ultimately, I don't just do this around money with clients, I'll do it around resistance in life in general. Okay, but this video is specifically around money. This is not around being seen, shooting content, again, looking for approval, like being afraid of a fear of judgment, a fear of rejection. There's so many different things, right? Lack of predictability, not having clarity makes you feel unsafe. There's a lot of patterns that show up, okay? But today, this video is just about money. So I want you to think about money specifically. And once you have this, you're pretty much in a position where you're ready to do the hypnosis. Okay, and in the hypnosis, what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to get into a position where you can completely relax. You're going to have headphones on, is ideal. You're not going to be driving a car. You're not going to be operating machinery, and you're going to be in a position where you can completely relax. As long as you're in this position, headphones on, no distractions, this is going to be one of the most powerful things that you can ever do in your life when it comes to removing resistance around money. All you need to do in this session, when we're doing it, is listen to the sound of my voice. That's all you need to do. Just know that this is you doing this for you. This is not me doing this for you. If you're doing this conscious work before it, and then when you go into this hypnosis track, you listen to my voice, you do everything in this track that you're supposed to do, because you relax and let go and you let it happen, this is going to give you a permanent result. This is going to remove, at the deepest core level, resistance that you've been holding on to since this memory. You were shaped by this memory, and today is the day that you reshape and completely rewire your association to money, because you would never have this association to money if you never had that negative experience. So get into position, get ready to rewire yourself, and let me know. Message me, let me know how powerful this is for you. Let me know the resistance and the changes that you see in your life, because I guarantee you over the next couple of weeks, you're going to notice a difference in your ability to take action. That resistance that was there before isn't there anymore. The feeling that you got checking the bank balance isn't there. And I want this to be very clear. If it does show up, if any resonance does show up, a flicker of the old pattern, a flicker of the old resistance, that doesn't mean this doesn't work. Okay, that just means that there's a little bit of resonance still there. And ultimately, the position that you're in is you will be able to notice that. You're going to notice the intensity is completely minuscule compared to what it was, if it's not completely gone. So just know, that doesn't mean this failed. That just means that you have a chance to observe and not feed it. And when you do that, when you have self-agency, it will be completely gone. And you'll be in a position to have absolutely no money blocks holding you back anymore. I appreciate your time and attention. Thank yourself for this, because this is genuinely one of the most powerful things that you could ever do in your life.